Monday is Martin Luther King Jr. Day, marking the civil rights leader's birthday and a time to remember his legacy of social change after his death.
The day following, January 17th, is marked as the Day of Racial Healing, a time set aside by some to have conversations about our shared values and how the nation can heal from the history and effects of racism. Yazid Moore with the WK Kellogg Foundation is here now with more on the National Day of Racial Healing. Thank you so much for being here, and quickly tell us about the foundation. I know you work with communities to help children realize their full potential.
Yes, thank you for the opportunity. So the WK Kellogg Foundation is an international foundation where children and families are the center of everything that we do. We work in Battle Creek, Grand Rapids, and Detroit, but also international work nationally as well too, where we're working to try to improve the outcomes and the conditions where children and families live in education, health, economics, and also making sure that we equip them to be a part of conversations that actually move the needle on changing those conditions in the communities that they live.
So tell us a little bit about what's going to be happening on Tuesday.
So on Tuesday will be our National Day of Racial Healing, and on the heels of after Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s day on the 16th. And the National Day of Racial Healing is an event across the country where it will be about bringing community together to have discussions around conversations around truth, our shared histories, our shared values, about how do we begin to create a much more equitable society that we live in here, about how do we partner to get to those goals and aims.
One of your goals, you encourage people to have those, what you call uncomfortable conversations, because it can be uncomfortable, but that's exactly what we should be doing.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely what we should be doing, but it's also bringing those conversations where we can talk about our truths, our histories, right, but also begin to kind of build a pathway forward about how do we begin to kind of talk about the effects of racism, right? Racism impacts us all. And what are the things that we need to do as a community coming together to begin to kind of unpack those things that we know that don't make us our best, right? And begin to kind of create those structures and systems that we know improve opportunities for children and families each and every day.
Talk about those issues. So we're remembering and honoring Dr. Martin Luther King this weekend. What can individuals do really to continue his legacy? What kind of growth can continue here?
Yeah, that's a great question in terms of growth that can continue. Just being able to kind of be present in those conversations, right? And we all bring our own individual selves, our own individual histories, and our own shared values and histories to those conversations. So how do we begin to kind of have those conversations about racial equity, racial healing, which are bringing in terms about how do we connect, right? How do we build relationships? How do we bridge divides, right, as it relates to and beginning to kind of like tell a new story and actually begin to kind of create better opportunities for the children and families that we work on behalf of each and every day at the Kellogg Foundation, but also like a part of alongside other community partners as well too who are doing that same work as well.
Well, you do incredible work. Yazid Moore, thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thanks for joining us.